Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Thursday Xfinity Series here on Green White Checker TV. Looking forward to being back after the off week. Hope everyone had a happy, wonderful, and safe Halloween. And we are ready here to kick off the the fifth race of the season back at Daytona International Speedway for the second time so far. Earlier this season, we saw Rick Sanchez take the season opening win here in 75 lap duel that we saw before we went on to iRacing Super Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Talladega with four different winners now this season. Rick Sanchez kicking off that first race, Kevin Freese, Austin Collin, and Mark Mann all grabbing a W in the win column for the third season here of 2024 as we get ready tonight for 75 laps at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, and it is a lovely day in the sim. The sun is shining. It's 75 degrees and a light 2-mile-an-hour wind as we are getting ready to qualify here. About a minute and a half left in the individual qualifying session. Everyone getting 2 laps to set the fastest time to try and grab that pole position for tonight's race. And lots more in store for you guys here tonight. So always fun to come back to Daytona, one of the more narrow tracks that we see on the schedule. Obviously, just as narrow as Atlanta Motor Speedway, but definitely some iconic history when it comes to racing here at Daytona, even if it is in the virtual world here on iRacing. So we're looking forward to, again, a solid race tonight. And looks like a decent field in about the mid 20s. So love to see the participation and everyone showing up to hopefully put on a good show for you fans here tonight and have some fun while we do it. So hopefully everyone had a wonderful Halloween last week and got a chance to maybe go trick or treating with some little ones or just maybe enjoy a bag of candy at home. However you celebrate, hopefully it was fun and hopefully we'll see what kind of tricks or treats are in store for the drivers here tonight. So couple seconds left in that qualifying session here, and we will bring up that starting grid for you here as we will see who will start this race on the pole. And it will be Kevin Freese in the number 25 Chevrolet for Bootnaka Esports. He's going to grab that pole position. Robert Hooligan's going to be to his outside in the number 126 machine. Gabe Butler, teammate of Kevin Freese, directly behind him inside of row number 2. Then you got Dude Conrad in the number 8. Another entry for Team Bootnaka Esports here tonight in the outside of row number 2. Rounding out the starting top 5 is going to be Les Levy in that number 62 Chevrolet inside row number 3. To his outside is Jack Walls in the number 83 for Roswell Motorsports. As we'll see if we can grab a view of the cars as they take to pit road here and get ready to roll off here shortly. And we've got Eric Laurie and Bud Steele. They are going to share row number 4. More Bootnaka and Roswell Motorsports entries there on row number 4. Rounding up the top 10 is going to be Tom Dixon and Ed DeBoer in the number 12. They will be inside the top 10 for your starting positions tonight. Then you got Austin Call in the number 64 for Merkel Motorsports. He is in the inside of row number 6. And Dean Wilkinson at 55 for TW Motorsports outside of the first page of the grid. Next page, we got back it up there, 1, I think. Apologies. Okay, yeah. So Nick Wing will start in 13th inside of row number 7. Rick Sanchez in the number 5 will be to his outside of there. Carl Lingle and Jeremy Osmond, they are teammates. They're going to share the 8th row of the grid tonight, 15th and 16th starting positions. Back in 17th will be Andrew Schroeder in that 048. To the outside will be the 48 of Ryan Decker. And rounding up the top 20 on row number 10, Nathan Aldrich inside of Dustin Logston. Jim Brooks is going to be the inside of row number 11. Ambrose Knievel with Brian Squirrel Racing to his outside. Bob Fitzgerald and Brian Wang are going to complete the 12th row of the grid and the final row of the grid as well, as we roll off and get ready to take the green flag here. Again, 75 laps, the scheduled distance at Daytona International Speedway here tonight. Some great looking paint schemes, as always, here in the Area 51 League. Love to see the Budweiser scheme for Robert Hooligan there, outside pole position. Kevin Freese with the very classic Kellogg's. And all sorts of great paint schemes throughout the field here tonight. And
Hello.
yeah, we've got Matt
Hey,
Wagner joining us here as
hey,
well.
Boomer.
Matt, what
Hey.
got
What?
75 laps on the schedule for tonight? What are you looking forward to most?
I've been looking forward to. I'm going to call out a driver. He was kind of new to this league. He's been doing very well. He did very well the race on Sunday, and this is that 126 of Robert Hooligan. I will be keeping my eyes and ears peeled on him. He had a chance to win last week, showing very strong outing with a very great qualifying effort here this evening. But as you know, that Fries guy, he's on pole. He's pretty good here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, and obviously with the teammate already lined up behind him there, Kevin and Gabe Butler first and third in your starting grid. And a couple of Team Bootnaka Esports guys up at the front, but still have 75 laps to determine who's going to come home a winner. We've had 4 different winners, as we mentioned earlier. Matt, do you think we're going to see a 5th, or we're going to get our first repeat winner tonight?
Well, I think we're gonna get a first time season winner, but not. But I would love to see a first time winner though.
I always love a first-time winner, as the green flag is underway here at Daytona. 75 laps here in the Thursday Xfinity Series on Area 51 here on Green White Checker TV. We'll see how these guys start to settle in, or if there is going to be a few up on the chip trying to get up to the front. Always a mix of strategies. You see one already kind of going to the back. So that's Nathan Aldrich there. He's going to drop a few spots there all the way to the back. So you'll see him actually in the scored as the 514, but he has the 00 Cole Custer paint scheme on his Ford Mustang here. And as we come through the trial, it looks like Robert Hooligan's going to lead this first lap, but it is not going to be him. It'll be the pole sitter of Kevin Freese, grabbing the first lap lead of this 75 lap contest.
Actually, I'm going to show a big shout. You can just see him on your screen here, just the back of that first back, that 5 car of Rick Sanchez. He is fresh off his back surgery. I just talked to him before the race. He has like a plate that's like pretty much holding him in place. He told me he has no idea how long he's going to go here tonight, but I appreciate him out here tonight. But healing is oh god, Kevin Freese. He was on the apron of the racetrack almost. Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to either. Number one, he was trying to go straight to the back, or that was just a bad push gone wrong.
Yeah, definitely shuffled out of line. Another car shuffled out of line there. Looks like Bud Steele, but he's going to get back in line. And obviously, as you mentioned there, great to see Rick back in the car this week. Obviously, hoping for a very speedy recovery for him, and fully understandable if we do not see him complete all the laps, but it's always good to see the 5 back out on track, and hopefully everything is well with the back there.
I just wish I would never go through that pain he's in. It hurts. Meanwhile, our first repeat winner of the Sunday League, Dude Conrad in that 8 car. He has been phenomenal throughout this whole Super Speedway series this year. Excuse me. He is doing nothing but winning.
We'll see if he can grab a win here tonight at Daytona in the Thursday series as well. But it's a couple of Dale Jr. inspired paint schemes there, leading the inside row. The 83 of Jack Walls is going to jump to the high side. He is going to pick up Tom Dixon, and they're going to go to the outside and try to see what they can do to improve their positions. And actually want to highlight Brian Wang in that 05. You see him there. I believe he is the fourth car. Oh, there's a little bit of a moment there. There's a big wreck down the back straightaway, and I was going to highlight the 05, and he is collected in it. One car well into the inside wall. Checking up, Jim Brooks, a ton of damage. The 25 goes around, gets hit by the 048, and all sorts of carnage here. So in SDK, we see Kevin Freese goes off track. Nope, that was earlier. Sorry, that was not that. So we're going to go to the moment here, which obviously you already see the chaos ensuing. Let's see if we can grab. We see Dean Wilkinson, unfortunately, into the inside wall here. Just about. No, actually, wow. What a solid save to not take too much damage. It might have grazed the wall just a little bit here. But let's see if we can grab Dean from his perspective and try to understand what was happening here. And we'll try to get you a better view here and then do a little rewinding and see if we can make sense. So you see there, back there, the 411 already wide. So we're going to take it back just a little bit here. So we'll focus on the 411 of Tom Dixon. If we can find him, here we go. And zoom out here, a little TV3 view for you, and we'll see coming off, you see the 8, dude, Conrad gets to the apron, and then as he comes up, he kind of gets into
what was
83,
that?
but man, it almost looks like he had some neck code with the 411, which sent him into the outside wall, down into the 55, and that was where the chaos ensued across the nose of the 05, who at the time was up, I think, like 18 positions to start the race. And you see the 25 gets spun, I think, by the 62 there. The 411 gets collected from behind by the 30. And as they're checking up, the 048 and the 51 make some big contact as well. And, yeah, a couple cars still continuing to slide. The Aflac Machine of Austin Call trying to avoid, just barely avoiding that Chevrolet of Les Levy there. The 48 getting by on the high side. And then the 048 tags the 25 at the end. And, yeah, that's a lot of carnage there for an early race incident. But, yeah, we have, while we've been watching replays, we've been got some updates on pit lane. So we'll see if we can take you there to see what happened for this round of pit stops. So
that was very strange.
Yeah, that was a very weird netcode, it seemed like, incident. But just moments ago, we saw the 83 of Jack Waltz leading the field down pit road. Dude Conrad behind him, followed by Robert Hooligan. And we'll see who's going to win this race off of pit road. As you see all the field catching back up. The 83 gets off first. So he's going to get off first off of pit road, followed by Robert Hooligan. However, Gabe Butler stayed out. Actually, no, yeah, he rolled through pit lane that time, and he is going to actually inherit the lead. So we'll see how this shakes out. He did not take any fuel or tires there, just rolled down pit road, so would assume that he'll probably be coming back the second time around. So we're going to try and take a quick caution, or a quick commercial break, and be right back. All right, so we see the 88 come back down pit road here, and he is going to. I think he's going to fall in line around 13th here, and we'll jump back live as we get ready for this restart here. So Jack Walls is going to lead us to the green flag. Lights are off on the pace car. Robert Hooligan to the outside. Jeremy Osborne and Dude Conrad here. And it looks like quite a few drivers actually coming down pit road a second time. So that's why you see so many cars just lined up single file. Anybody that came down and pit twice, I believe, would be double or single file behind the leaders there. So there's a lot of cars that came in a second time here. But the pace car is gonna duck into pit road, and we are gonna get going again here. Lap number 8 leading into lap number 9. Jack Walls will take us through the Geico restart zone, up through the gearbox, and back up to speed we go. And how about for a little early restart here? We'll do a little bit of crank it up for you. Moment there for the 83. No, the 48, excuse me, Brian Decker. And a big thank you to our partner Whiplash Sim Cams. Obviously, you saw the first commercial break there, and all the cameras obviously you see here tonight, as well as our TV static look it up views. Big thanks to them and their partnership here. Ooh, the 83 gets sent to the bottom lane.
Oh boy. We have to remind these guys, these cars do not like pushing like they used to.
Yes, these cars have definitely changed quite a bit in the last few updates. Ooh, there's a car around.
Hang on, 411.
The 411, wow. Not around, but that was a moment there for Tom Dixon.
That was wow. That was a save.
He collects it and we stay green. Man, we've had a few of those already here tonight. And there's another one out of order. That's Duke Conrad, but I think he's just getting out of dodge. Oh, look at the 41 of Jeremy Osborne taking over the lead in commanding fashion. From the outside to the inside. And Dustin Logston, another Dale Jr. inspired paint scheme there. One of the old camo Budweiser cars. Don't see that very often.
Oh no, we got a crash.
Further back in the pack, yellow flag is out. And we'll see, looks like Nick Wing, Carl Lingle potentially involved. And we'll see if we can go back. All right, you can see the chaos has already started here.
Ooh.
Moment for the 28 and the 30 there on the all the way in the apron. We're just gonna rewind that there. Apologies, we don't have a great spot to grab from SDK this timestamps, but
Oh, I think you might have focused on Dude Conrad.
Dude Conrad, okay. Yeah, Dude Conrad. Okay. Oh yeah, so here he is, slow on the apron. And you can see him drifting up onto the racing surface. 48
No.
tries to avoid, does.
Oh.
The 30 cannot. The 48,
Oh.
48 hits the wall. And then who's in the WeatherTech car? Trying to figure that one out. But yeah, so you can see Nick Wing here will eventually be caught up. Man, that's a big hit for Carl. Oh wait, Bob Fitzgerald. Okay, yeah, so Bob Fitzgerald caught up a little bit. The
Yeah.
28 involved as well. So not a lot of contact, but it was towards the back of the pack, so it really wasn't a very large incident.
Oh, the
But
WeatherTech car? Yeah, that
yes,
was Bob Fitzgerald.
yep. But we're live. Trying to go back live. Here we go. Dustin Logston is going to bring us down pit road here in the 81.
Bob can't catch a break. His car looks okay.
All right, as you see him pull off pit road here, Gabe Butler's going to do the same thing again. He's going to roll through pit road, get to the lead, and then pit here on this second lap of the caution. Jeremy Osborne is actually going to come out ahead, just taking a little bit of fuel. Pretty much everyone all the way back to Austin Collin, 10th place. Just a little splash of fuel there. 4 tires for Ryan Decker, Brian Wang, Eric Laurie, and Jim Brooks. And then a mixed bag of damage repair behind them there, as we are on lap number 14, caution number 2. And as we get ready just a moment to take you to commercial break and sort out the rest of that pit cycle and get ready for our restart. We'll be right back.
At Scentsy, we love fragrance, how it makes us feel, how it connects us to our deepest memories, how sharing those memories connects us with each other.
And as it turns out, there's a lot of people who feel the same way and share Scenty's core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Our beautiful campus in Meridian, Idaho welcomes employees, consultants, and the community year-round.
That's why we've grown from selling just warmers and wax to selling a complete line of products, so you can fill your life with fragrance no matter where your day takes you.
Whether it's fun partnerships with beloved brands, innovative, high-performing cleaning products, laundry care that smells as good as it works, or personal care products to create your signature scent, Scentsy products are made to share.
Maybe that's why our culture has always felt like family. We call it Scentsy Spirit. It's a feeling of love, acceptance, generosity, and community that we share freely with everyone we meet. And we welcome you to experience it yourself. Like it? Buy the product. Love it? Host a get-together with your friends. Want more? Start your own Scentsy business. You can earn amazing trips around the world and rewards. You can work your business whenever and wherever you want, giving you more time for the things and people that matter most. Ask your Scentsy consultant for more info.
Alrighty, we cycle out of the second caution pit cycle here. The pace car is back on pit road, and we are back in action here at Area 51. Green flag back in the air for Jeremy Osborne, leading us to the green. And something we noticed there on the commercial break was the 81 of Dustin Logston. So you see not Budweiser, but Nerdweiser on that paint scheme there. So completely custom scheme, and honestly very well done for the old camo, one of the camo Budweiser cars from, I believe it was 2007, juniors last year at DEI. So really cool. Honestly, somewhat of a rare paint scheme for Dale Junior fans, but cool to see here and back out on track. And a bunch of the wonderful paint schemes that we have here, including the paint scheme of the 48 of Ryan Decker. Sensi on board that machine. You just saw the commercial break there, sponsored by Sensi. Appreciate Ryan and Caitlin for all they've done to bring them to the league, and you have to make sure there is a QR code back at the end of the Sensi commercial there. That's a link to Caitlin's account, and anything you can purchase there for Sensi or through Sensi will go back to helping Caitlin out a little bit there, and it'll be our way to say thanks to her for bringing them into the league. And make sure you check out all the things that they have for sale, all sorts of really cool fragrances. Again, their fragrance destination is Sensi, so please be sure to sponsor them and support them as they sponsor us and support us here at Area 51.
Yeah, I really do appreciate the generosity of Caitlin and Ryan Decker. That's really, really thoughtful. Meanwhile, back at the front, still, hang on to it there, buddy. Sorry, I was looking off camera there. Jeremy Osborne is still your leader, followed by your Nerdweiser machine for that 81 car. And he's dumped to the bottom of the racetrack and assuming the point.
Working on lap number 18. They'll come to 19 this time around. Dustin Logston adding to his lap lead column as Robert Hooligan continues to work on that high side. He's got Les Levy and the 5 of Rick Sanchez there, helping out in the outside lane. Not too much help out there other than those three. That was kind of really settling in towards the bottom and just kind of settling in. Then definitely been a few quicker cautions, not really, nothing too crazy. Obviously, every 7 or 8 laps is definitely a little more cautions than sometimes we're used to seeing, but
yeah.
So you see that pace is definitely kind of coming down just a little bit there, not a ton, but just a little bit, as you see the 12 of Ed DeVorce starting to join the outside lane there, now on lap number 20. About 5 cars working in that high lane. Most of the rest of the field still working around the bottom here, settling in as we see lots of 62 to 41 in the wall, the 5 as well. The 12 collected in a big wreck on back.
Oh, they may be a little bit overreaction to the 41. He was quite a little bit squirrely on the bottom. I have to go back and take a look at that one.
That is very unfortunate for the 41. You see the smoke, the blown motor. He will have to come in for some extensive repairs here, and we'll try to make sense of what started where and get a replay for you. So you see the 41 coming through turn 2, a couple issues off of turn 2, and craziness already happening. So we'll see if we can get back to that. So you see the 5 there, the 5 kind of pushing the 62 in the middle of the corner, and the 62 just gets a little loose. The 41, innocent bystander. The 5 involved. The 12, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And then you see the 88 as well, just kind of piles in, and I mean, nobody else that is involved here really has anywhere to go. The 6 trying to check out the 08 gets in the back of him. The 51 involved as well. Nick Wing, the 28, starting to check up real hard here. Is going to get into the back of the 08, just barely there. And then you see the 048 and the 25 make a little contact there. And the 514 of Nathan Aldrich comes to a stop completely to avoid contact with the 41 there. And that is almost half of the field that it was involved in that yellow there, as you saw them all piling up. And yeah, that was a big moment there. Unfortunately, the 5 just getting the 62 just a little bit loose, and lots of innocent bystanders, unfortunately.
I think you're better off telling the audience who wasn't in it.
Probably, well, it's about 50-50, so, but yes, I would agree. All right, so you're going to see the 81 of Dustin Logston. He is going to lead us down pit road. He is out of his box and done making his service to that 81 Ford Mustang. Instinctively, with a Dale Jr. car, I assume Chevrolet, but no, it's the Ford Mustang, as the Chevrolet of Robert Hooligan is going to get off of pit road first. Just a splash of fuel for these guys. Jack Walls included, Ambrose Knievel there in the top 4. Ryan Decker is going to hold on a little bit longer on pit road, but he's going to grab 4 fresh Goodyear tires. So is Austin Call, Dude Conrad, Eric Laurie. We got Dean Wilkinson rolling off 9th. Jim Brooks gets his damage repaired. He'll be 10th. Andrew Schroeder in the 048. And then Bob Fitzgerald in the 08. And everybody else on pit road repairing some bit of damage. Brian Wang is going to get off of pit road after 37 seconds in his pit stall. And you see Rick Sanchez finally getting back on pit road, taking the fast repair for him. Gabe Butler, some damage repair. Nathan Aldrich as well. That is the top 16, and we'll see how everybody else fares. But the 126 of Robert Hooligan is going to lead us behind the pace car, and we are going to have about a lap here to settle out and see who is going to get their damage fixed. And man, not even a third of the way through this one, and we got another about 7 laps and our 3rd caution. Definitely been tough to string these. Definitely been tough to string green flag laps together, but right after this commercial break, we're going to try to do just that, and we'll see if we can here. We'll be right back. Lots of cars coming down pit road a second time, so you'll see plenty of single file action here. behind the 4-pack of the 126, the 81, the 41, and the 25, as we are green flag once again, working on lap number 24. We are just past, or just prior to the 1/3 mark of this race. The 81 and the 25 are going to get down. The whole field single file here now, as we'll see if the chaos starts to slow down. Definitely have not been expecting to see as much carnage as we have. There's going to be no cars out of the race, I believe, yet. As I double check to see, Ambrose Knievel may have already retired, actually. Tom Dixon is out here in 23rd. I believe he's only one lap down. I think so. It should be the 04 of Ambrose Knievel that is out, and amazing after all the chaos. Tom Dixon is the only car one lap down. Now you see quite a few cars off the pace. The 28 of Nick Wing, 15 seconds and falling. Ed DeBoer, Carl Lingle as well, way off pace for those three drivers, unfortunately. And you see a little bit of a gap here now forming behind Dean Wilkinson back to the 11th place Eric Laurie. It's fairly segmented. So about a 10-car breakaway here at the front.
Yeah, I think that was due to, I think the 08, the Foster has a little bit of damage, and he was leading that second group, and they were just losing time and time again. I think they all figured it out, and they're not all going by him.
All right, yeah, so we'll see. Fitzgerald is definitely slowing down. He's not keeping up with Les Levy as well, but Les Levy is catching up to the pack ahead of him. They're in 18th. So you see him, yeah, pretty much this whole pack of 18 cars are going to be all together in the 411 of Tom Dixon, one lap down here as well. Bob Fitzgerald off the pace, unfortunately, there, and falling back, so he's going to join the likes of Nick Wing and or Carl Lingle, who are hoping for some time on pit road without too much penalty of it being under green flag. But the drivers that want it to stay green flag include Dustin Logson, who spent a lot of his time here at the front of this pack, now being pushed by Robert Hooligan and Jack Walls on the inside. And the outside is Kevin Freese, the 05 of Brian Wang, and the 41 of Jeremy Osborne. After he's been involved in a few incidents here tonight, but Jeremy Osborne was 3 wide for just a moment there, but we settle back on to 2, and there are only a few cars hanging out in the outside lane here as we try to see if we can break the 7-lap green flag cycle curse.
Yeah, we'd like to break that curse.
We're on lap number 29 now. We last pit on lap 21. As we head 2x2 into turn number 1. We've seen a few issues here in turn 2. A couple pushes gone wrong, some potential net code, and definitely a slew of different kinds of incidents here early on. As Brian Wang's going to get the push from the 41 down the backstretch, he's not going to be able to clear his teammate to get down to the inside lane. 05 going to be pushed by the 41 there. The 25 surges ahead through the corner there. A little bit of side-by-side slicing and dicing there. As the leaders here are just about ready to catch the lap car of Carl Lingle they will grab here in a moment.
Yeah.
And if it stays green, that's going to be a lot of laps for Carl Lingle. It's only been a few since we went back green. So if they're catching him every 5 to 6 laps or so, that is going to be a long rest of this night for Carl Lingle. And again, Ed DeBoer, Nick Wing in almost identical positions. Bob Fitzgerald running the same lap times now as Carl Lingle now that he's out of the pack. So it's going to be a long night for those guys if they have to ride around like that for the rest of the night. We'll see if the 30 can try and hang on to the draft, but won't be surprised with the damage that he has to that Blind Squirrel Racing Chevrolet that he won't be using. So Brian Wang at the moment is our hard charger, highest climber, whatever you want to call it. Most positions gained as he gets a big push from the teammate of Kevin Freese behind him. He is up 23 in the number 1 position at the moment. Justin Logston up 17, and we'll go back to Jeremy Osborne in 5th. He's up 11. Jim Brooks, back in 11th place, is up 10 spots. And a mixed bag from there on out. Quite a few that are have fallen from their starting position, as we've seen quite a few incidents and lots of chaos here in this first third. Hoping to so far make this second segment of this race a little more calm and quiet. Only 2 cars kind of hanging out in the outside lane, the 41 and the 55. Everyone just kind of peeking a little nose, trying to get a little clean air on these Xfinity Series race cars.
I don't want to say anything because I don't want to put the commentator's curse on anything. I'm just...
You have to let us know later what you were going to say if it does or does not happen.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just refraining myself. I'm gonna be nice. It's something positive. It's nothing negative.
Working on lap number 33. And it has definitely quieted down a lot so far since the last restart.
Yeah, so far. You say that now. Hey, you just jinxed it.
I still say so far. It's truth. It is fact. Not really anybody.
But Jeremy, yeah.
Go ahead.
Jeremy Osborne and Dean Wilkinson are not giving up on that top lane. And if they, I'm kind of torn. I'm not seeing either Jack Wallace or Robert Hogan go to that top lane and try to make that third lane work.
Yeah, they're the only ones doing it, but they're actually doing it pretty well as the 41 is getting really good pushes from that Ford Mustang and Dean Wilkinson behind him.
Yeah, it is so hard to push these cars. As soon as you give the rear end a tap, it feels like the rear tires are coming off the ground. It's just so weird.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned that earlier. It's most of the last 2 updates that have come up for this car just absolutely seeming like the car drives completely different from the way that they used to, and it's been a challenge. I mean, it's been a challenge for not just obviously the leagues that I broadcast here at Area 51, but some of the leagues I've raced in too, where setups are either just wicked tight or wicked loose, or where the car feels like it's 10 inches off the ground, and or the splitter, or it's like jammed on the splitter, and it's just there's not a lot of consistency, it seems like, in some of these updates. I know obviously iRacing constantly working on the aerodynamic models, the physics models, the damage models, and there's all sorts of really cool stuff that goes behind the scenes, but these last 2 updates have just been very different as far as how the car feels and how the car drives.
Well, it looks like I think Jeremy Osborne is kind of like doing a towel, trying to find a lane on the bottom. But as I look further back, I'm looking at the 88 car. He's been rather quiet the whole race. And then I think he's got, who's that in tow? Is that dude Conrad? And I can't see who's behind him.
Yeah, they're making a big charge right now to the front.
Oh, that's Eric Laurie.
In 071, yeah.
Yeah, so he it's quite an interesting story. He got rid of his John Deere scheme. It's
Moment there between the
they were a little
071 and
bit
the
tight
41.
there. Hang on to it.
071 in the wall, but they
All right,
continue
see what
on.
I'm telling you? I'm trying to think of something positive to say.
Jimmy Osborne's definitely had an interesting night. He's been involved in a few incidents here.
Yeah. So anyway, the 07, so he got rid of his John Deere scheme. So apparently there is an ongoing dispute involving John Deere, and yeah, I'll have to go and a little bit read about that one. So a little bit of pay cutting going on there. He's not happy with it, so he took off his John Deere paint scheme, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was curious to see because it looks like that is similar to the scheme design that the iRacing paint builder could do, and I wasn't sure if it was just a standard iRacing paint builder or not. But it was definitely at first when I first loaded in the session, I saw that and I was like, oh, is my trading paints not running right now? Do I need to refresh? And obviously refreshed, and no, that still looks like okay, maybe that's the scheme he's running this week. So definitely interesting to see or hear the backstory there. But they're making a little bit of a charge there. The 5 actually is kind of leading that charge now. The 88 of Gabe Butler pushing Rick Sanchez to the front of this pack. Dude Conrad and Eric Laurie, a couple cars back, but the only others really championing his high set now is Dean Wilkinson joins the party there. 5 cars in the outside lane, working on lap number 39. Brian Wayne continues to lead us around. He's leading Kevin Freese. And a slew of Team Boonaka Esports drivers are coming to the front with TW Motorsports Dean Wilkinson and the 5 of Rick Sanchez as well.
And it looks like the leaders are coming up to a little bit of lap traffic. I think they're going to head to the top lane as a little bit of courtesy here. Probably in the next corner here.
Yes, you see the 28 to 12.
Oh no, we're wrecking.
Oh, wrecking behind.
Wow, what a break for those 3 guys.
Yellow flag. What? Yeah, what a break indeed. Right as they're about to get lapped, and then Carl Lingle in the 30 as well, about to get lapped again. As let's try and make sense of what happened here. We'll go back to the pack. Oh, the 126, the 5 of Rick Sanchez involved here. The 88, 126 involved a lot of our front runners here. Doesn't look like a ton of damage to the 5 there, thankfully, or the 88, as we'll try to rewind that once again and see if we can understand where it all started there. You see the 5 already loose at that time, so we're going to rewind it there for you and get a better view. And yeah, it looks like, I mean, heading down on the short shoot into turn number 1 here, and thought at first it might have been a push from the 88, but the 5 looks like he just kind of gets loose in the middle of the corner. That's very
it's
weird.
Strange.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
Like it just kind of, the car just kind of like, it just gets loose out of nowhere almost, it seems. No, no warning. It just kind of happened. The 126, the 88 involved. The 411 just barely squeezing through. The 41 is going to get by unscathed. The 071, the 48, and the 6 checking up on top. They got on the wall just a little bit. The 5's going to come back across the track, and then hopefully I believe he's able to collect it from there. But yeah, definitely a ride for the 5. I mean, that's man, that's so strange. I mean, obviously, high quality driver in Rick Sanchez. It's really weird to see the car just kind of step out like that. So that's definitely
Weird.
definitely weird to see. But who knows what he was feeling there in the car? We'll jump back live though and see what is happening for pit lane. As it looks like Kevin Freese is actually no. Yeah, Brian Wang led us onto pit road, but he has one of the very first pit stalls, being the last qualifier. Um, and then everybody else ahead of him, we'll see who wins this race off of pit road. It looks like it's actually going to be Robert Hooligan, who took his fast repair, it looks like. We'll see if we can zoom in and see. And yes, it does look like that car is, that 3 doors down Budweiser Chevrolet is ready to go again. It's going to be followed by Kevin Freese, Jack Walls in the 83, Dustin Logston, Brian Wang, Jim Brooks in the 51, Dude Conrad, Austin Call, Dean Wilkinson, and Eric Laurie will be your top 10. Ryan Decker's going to come out 11th, Jeremy Osborne 12th, Les Levy in the Blanton's Chevrolet Camaro 13th, Andrew Schroeder in the 048. And then Rick Sanchez will come out 15th. And we got Nathan Aldrich, Bob Fitzgerald, and Nick Wing, as Nick Wing is going to save that lap down that we saw. So it was, I believe it was Nick Wing, Carl Lingle, and a few others that saved another lap down. Ambrose Kniebel, caution coming out at almost the perfect time for them. And yeah, will be the 4th caution here of the night. And with that, I think we owe our sponsors another commercial break. So we're going to jump to that, and we will be right back.
At Scentsy, we love fragrance, how it makes us feel, how it connects us to our deepest memories, how sharing those memories connects us with each other.
And as it turns out, there's a lot of people who feel the same way and share Scenty's core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Our beautiful campus in Meridian, Idaho welcomes employees, consultants, and the community year-round.
That's why we've grown from selling just warmers and wax to selling a complete line of products, so you can fill your life with fragrance no matter where your day takes you.
Whether it's fun partnerships with beloved brands, innovative, high-performing cleaning products, laundry care that smells as good as it works, or personal care products to create your signature scent, Scentsy products are made to share.
Maybe that's why our culture has always felt like family. We call it Scentsy Spirit. It's a feeling of love, acceptance, generosity, and community that we share freely with everyone we meet. And we welcome you to experience it yourself. Like it? Buy the product. Love it? Host a get-together with your friends. Want more? Start your own Scentsy business. You can earn amazing trips around the world and rewards. You can work your business whenever and wherever you want, giving you more time for the things and people that matter most. Ask your Scentsy consultant for more info.
We are ready for another restart, 4th restart of the night. Robert Hooligan is going to be in command of this one. Kevin Freese will be to his outside up through the 4-speed H-pattern gearboxes as we go in these Xfinity Series cars. Back to action here at the High Banks at the World Center of Racing.
I know you've been to this track, Boomer.
I have. I've actually raced here.
So did I. I didn't actually race here, but I did the experience. It was quite fun. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool track. I mean, it's I don't know, it just has this has that feel to it. You know, when you get there and you're
Right.
inside the track, it's
Mhm.
just you just feel the history and the significance of how incredible this facility really is.
So you remember when Juan Montoya did the whole jet dryer thing?
Yes. I don't think anyone
So
forgets that.
they repaved that part, and we did the on-track activities there, and you actually feel the bump going about 160 miles an hour. I thought that was kind of scary, but what a fantastic job these guys did. Keep well maintained that racetrack. It was quite fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know, not to toot my own horn too much, but we've got to do some racing ourselves. We got a team that does some endurance series racing. We had a chance to go to Daytona earlier this year in early April, and actually race on the same layout as the 24 hours of Daytona. We didn't do too well, but it was always fun, really cool to be at the track and actually get some laps on the track. And
Nice.
yeah, so all sorts of fun. You'd be proud of me. Under every
I want to watch.
yeah, under every because we do virtual safety cars at 35 miles an hour. There's a little bit of maybe a yellow here coming, but they do paint the choose cone on the pavement. And
Really?
under the virtual safety cars, I made sure to pick every time I went by it, would pick one lane on the inside or the outside. So that was always a lot of fun to have some fun there at High Banks in Daytona. But yeah, definitely a very
jealous.
fun racetrack, and love being there. Hoping to be there again early next year, because we've gone once. It's kind of on our bucket list for every season, because it's just a cool experience.
Every man's bucket list. Meanwhile, back at the front, we did have Robert Hooligan did lead, but now we have a Brian Wang up the front, and never mind, as soon as said that Eric Laurie is giving Kevin Breeze a push. He wants him to push him to the lead.
Yeah, really good run down the back straightaway for that high lane. As you saw that 05 jump down to the inside, cover the 126 a little moment there in turn number 3, but we stay straight and green. 25 trying to get around the outside. Here's a little more bobbling side by side for the 071. And it looks like the 05 of Brian Wang is going to get this lap led there. And something that you noticed, Matt, under the caution was something about the track temp, it sounds like. Why don't you take us through and explain maybe why these cars are kind of all over the place here tonight?
So basically, the harder the track, the slicker it's going to be. The more the track takes rubber, the slicker it's going to be. If you have a clean racetrack, of course the car is going to gain a little bit more grip. But, like I said before, it takes more rubber. It's become hotter, more greasier, more slippier. And that's why you see these cars are wiggling as soon as they come off the corner and in the mid-corner. So right now the track temp is 128. I don't think it's moved since. It's quite a bit hectic out there. So some of those guys who haven't changed tires are probably going to change tires now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking through the field from the last set of pit stops, at least a third, if not half of the field only took fuel. And I mean, 129 for a track temp is very warm. Usually you can expect 20 to 30 degrees hotter than the air for a track temperature, especially with the sun shining like it is today. But it's partly cloudy in the sim. And as you saw as we started there, it was only like 72 or 75 degrees. So I really wouldn't expect this track to be that much over like 100 degrees or so. But the fact that it's almost 130, I mean, as far as weather settings go, that's about as hot as you can get the track. I know depending on the track, depending on, because geographical location does play into it when they do the weather and all that stuff. The highest track temperature I've ever seen in any condition on iRacing is like 139 Fahrenheit, which is absolutely
That's
insane.
Up there. Oh my God, that is insane.
We're only 10 degrees off of that, which is a little surprising. I know we had, there were some issues with, I think it was partially some unexpected setup changes from from the default iRacing setups for Atlanta a couple weeks ago. But we had some issues there where the track was incredibly hot compared to what we thought it was going to be. And it's really, really hard to keep the car, settled in, comfortable. And I think that really explains why the 5 of Rick Sanchez just kind of looped it around on older tires heading into turn 2, for sure, Matt.
Yeah, so that actually put on a very good race over at Atlanta, just with the hot track conditions. I'm sure these guys are probably a little bit aware after seeing Rick Sanchez just spin out of nowhere. So it'd be interesting to see what these guys do on pit stop time. We haven't had any green flag stops yet, so I don't know if I'm going to take lefts, or am I going to take rights, or am I going to take 4? I don't know, Boomer. I really think I have no idea what these guys are going to take. Oh, Robert Hooligan, he's got a little bit loose. Yep.
Is he around here? They're around further on back. Yep. There we go. Another incident. That is going to be caution number 5. Maybe not. We stay green. And we'll see if they throw the yellow or not. We are green. The 48 of Ryan Decker is absolutely wadded up here in the outside of the back straightaway. So is the 83 of Jack Walls. We stay green. We're going to try and rewind this quickly here so we don't lose what we saw here. Try to get an understanding of what happened. We'll play it for a second, and we'll get into turn 1, and then we'll slow it down. But you said it was Robert Hooligan. We'll check on him here as we get into turn number 1. You see Brian Wang in the 05 in front of him, the 81 behind, the 55 to the outside, entering turn number 1 here. Close to the apron, drifts up just a little bit, and then starts to get loose. And just can't collect it. He's going to get...
Yeah.
I think the 81's just going to barely make it through. We saw all the impact the 83 had. So Jim Brooks pushing the 83 into the back of the 126. And then you see here is where the big damage comes for the 48. And everyone else mostly able to make it through the 51. Wow, just barely avoiding the 126 there. And from here, I think everybody was able to check up and then continue to roll because it's still green flag. The 6 of Bud Steele there gets a little loose. He's going to hit the pit exit cone. But I think we stayed rolling from here. So we'll jump back live now. We'll play it for you. And you see most of this pack has kind of settled in together. So the 6 of Bud Steele is going to lead this group here from 9th on back to about 15th. And we'll actually see a couple cars coming down for green flag pit stops as the 55 is going to get a penalty, or maybe 2, for sliding through the grass and potentially too fast entering pit road. But this is the first green flag pit cycle that you see as the window has opened to the end with 21 laps to go. Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie, Dean Wilkinson, and Brian Wang. Back on the Speedway in the lead pack here. It's just Rick Sanchez, Jeremy Osborne, and Dustin Logston here, Matt.
So I was checking out the 55. You said he was in the grass there a little bit. So this is weird about iRacing. So if you go onto the grass when you pass the cone, they will not give you an unsafe entry.
After you pass the cone, okay.
After you pass the cone. So he was able to match, but he somehow made pit road speed.
Wow.
I don't know how, but he did.
All right, so we'll see second set of pit stops. Rick Sanchez, Jeremy Osborne, Dustin Logston here. Bud Steele is going to take over the lead. He's got a couple teammates behind him. Nick Wing, separated by Dude Conrad, then back to Jim Brooks and their teammate, Les Levy. This is that second group that kind of formed after the incident there that we saw that did not bring out a yellow. So these guys are going to be in charge of this pack. And I think everybody on the lead lap has now made a pit stop other than this group here. So 1st through 7th have not pit. Rick Sanchez all the way back to Dean Wilkinson have pit. And then a slew of lap cars are doing all sorts of stuff. Lots of cars out at this point. Ryan Decker is retired. Andrew Schroeder retired. Jack Wall's retired. It looks like Robert Hooligan has had to retire as well, unfortunately, after the great run he'd been having. Bob Fitzgerald is still back out on the racetrack. I think he is the last car in the field that is still rolling, and he finds himself in 19th. But man, what a shame. That sucks for sure for Ryan Decker. Really had nowhere to go. Obviously, Robert Hooligan just got loose. The nature of what we've seen here all night. I mean, it happened to the 5. It's happened to some guys with some high quality drivers for sure. It just goes to show how difficult this can be. And fortunately for Robert Hooligan, he is out. Unfortunately for Jack Walls being collected, he is out too. But we've got pit stops for this next group here. Bud Steele's going to lead him down. Dude Conrad, Ed DeVore, Austin Call, Nick Wing, Jim Brooks. And that's going to leave Les Levy out here by himself. Now, he does have some help. He's got Tom Dixon and Nathan Aldrich here as some drafting help. But he is going to be a lone wolf on the lead lap, as he is the only car now on the lead lap who has yet to pit. And it looks like Jim Brooks is serving a penalty. I'm not sure if that was I'm assuming too fast entering pit road.
Yes.
He has been sitting in his box for 30 seconds. That is very unfortunate for Jim under the first green flag pit cycle here tonight. And then Les Levy, he's going to come down with the 4:11 of Tom Dixon. So this is going to give the lead back to Team Bootnock Sports teammates Brian Wang, Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, and Eric Laurie, as they are all connected, a 4-pack here. You'll have to go back another second behind Eric to pick up the 5 of Rick Sanchez, who has help from Jeremy Osborne, Dustin Logston, the lap car of Bob Fitzgerald, and then Dean Wilkinson in this pack as well. And that gets you through 8th place in the running order. Les Levy coming out with the lap car of Jim Brooks. Will have a little bit of drafting help here. And then you see Ed DeVore leading this pack with Bud Steele, Austin Call, Duke Conrad, and Nick Wing, and they are quickly catching up to the pack. They're about 13 seconds off of the leader, but they're going to grab probably Les Levy here in this pack, and he will join them there, as that will be the race from 9th to 14th. And then all sorts of lap cars on back. Nathan Aldrich is on the tail end of the lead lap without any help, so our leaders will more than likely be catching up to him fairly soon. Carl Lingle also by himself finally got a little bit of damage repair and is back up to pace for the most part, which is good for him. The bad news for him is that no drafting help is around for now. And then we'll go back to Jim Brooks, 17. He's one lap down, but he does have some drafting help in this pack. And then Tom Dixon was not able to catch the pack just ahead of him. Bob Fitzgerald is here in the second pack on track, as they are trying to catch up to the leaders here. And then everybody else has either retired or is sitting in pit lane repairing damage, and the 41 is going to get loose, and so is the 5, and they're going to spin with Bob Fitzgerald, and the 5 makes big contact with the outside wall. We stay green, but that is going to be a big impact for Rick Sanchez. And since we stay green, we'll do a quick rewind, see if we can make sense of how this all started here. You saw it as we were going through the field. And then into turn number 1. Again, 1 and 2 have seemed to be such a problem spot for these drivers. And the 5 here almost looks like he's getting loose, just like he has multiple times before. It's just such a hard car to hold on to tonight for some reason. And this time, Jeremy Osborne, just an innocent bystander in this incident. The 5 gets up into the wall, the 81 trying to save it down on the apron, and you're going to see big impact here for the 08, and the 5 there was the impact. Not as big as we expected, but was enough to get them to kind of slide and almost spin around, but great car control from both of them to keep it pointed in the right direction. And then the 5, obviously, he's going to come back up and just tag the wall, tag the 41, as he still continues to try and collect that spin. But man, that has been very frustrating for Rick Sanchez, I'm sure. But we'll jump back live and we'll actually go full speed and see if we can catch our breath for a second here.
Yeah, that's quite interesting turn of events. The surprising thing is no caution flag.
Yeah, just enough of an incident not to spin the cars around and keep it green flag. The good news for Rick is that he's still in the 7th position. The bad news is obviously you see this pack has caught him from 8th to 13th, so he's going to have to join that mix and see if his car is not damaged enough. It looks like he's got mostly damage on the side and the rear, so that shouldn't hurt him too much aerodynamically. So hopefully for him, there's still plenty to salvage here tonight with 12 laps to go. Up in the lead pack, it is still the 4-pack of Brian Wang, Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, and Eric Laurie. And then Dustin Logston is trying to hold on to that pack, but just barely starting to slide back. And he probably, unfortunately, is going to have to fall all the way back to Dean Wilkinson, who fell off the pack as well. And then, yeah, so Dustin Logston is about 12.7 seconds ahead of Ed DeBoer here in 7th. So Dustin and then Dean Wilkinson's only 2 seconds ahead of this pack. They will probably fall back to this group. And then we would have a battle from 5th all the way back to 12th with 12 laps to go.
Wow. I'm just in shock. This field has really spread out now.
And the interesting thing you were talking about earlier, Matt, was what do you do when you pit? And it looks like almost everybody took fuel only.
There you go.
So
it's what I talked about.
Yep.
And ECC drivers starting to lose it.
Yeah, you don't really talk about Daytona being it's a little bit of a handling track. I mean, obviously, before the most recent repave, it was getting to the point where you could actually wear some tires out and and actually have to play some strategy with a little bit of handling, and have to actually build it in and not just go full throttle like crazy at Talladega. But it's really interesting to see how much tires are really making a factor here tonight at Daytona, Matt.
Yep, it's. I think I will have to go back after the race, see some of these guys at the front runners, see what they did. Actually, I'm just quite curious.
They are catching the 514 of Nathan Aldrich, who is going a lap down. Thankfully, his car is in good shape, so he should be able to tuck in here, grab this draft, and hold on to that lead pack and the lucky dog position, as we are now in the single digits of laps to go. 9 as we cross the stripe. Brian Wang, another lap lead clicked off for him. And if this stays the way we expect it to, I wouldn't be too surprised to see this order you see here as the finishing order. Now, obviously, a lot of things can happen between now and then, but the MO of this team is typically to push whoever gets out front in the final green flag pit cycle and commit to them. So we will see if that is the case. And if it is the case, I believe that would be our 5th winner of the season. But again, a lot of time left. 8 laps to go as they cross the stripe this time by. It's still the 4-pack for Team Bootnocking Esports. It is the 514 of Nathan Aldrich, the lap car, in the lucky dog spot in this front group. Dustin Logston, no help at the moment, continuing to fall back, running a couple seconds off the leader and a couple seconds off of the pack behind him, led now by Les Levy in the outside lane, with the 5 of Dean Wilkinson, the 12 of Ed DeBoer in the inside with Austin Call. Austin winning the 3rd race of the season earlier this year. That is again the pack from about 6th through 12th, trying to grab the last few spots within the top 10 here. Already talked about Nathan Aldrich here, just behind our leaders. Jim Brooks is in that second pack as well. Tom Dixon and the 83 of Jack Walls. Jack Walls actually getting back out on track after extensive damage repair for him. So the 83 of Jack Walls is going to see if he can try and pass. Looks like just Jeremy Osborne is the only one that he will have the opportunity to pass, as Rick Sanchez is... actually, Rick Sanchez has retired, so we'll have to look at the laps for Rick and for Jack to see if it's possible for him to catch up. Bob Fitzgerald is also retired. Carl Lingle is retired. Tom Dixon has retired, and so has Jim Brooks. Actually, no, I take it back. We'll see. Jim Brooks is back out on track. Tom Dixon, again, also on track. Carl has some damage repaired more than before. Bob Fitzgerald back in 17th, and then Rick Sanchez and Jeremy Osborne, you see, have both retired there, 18th and 19th. So a little bit of a through the field there as we get into the final stages of this race here. This next time by, we are going to be 5 laps to go for the 05 of Brian Wang. Again, teammate Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, and Eric Laurie lined up 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment, trying to see what they can do to bring a 1 through 4 finish to Team Bootnaka Esports here on Thursday night.
So pretty much it's a race for 5th right now, I think, really, realistically.
Yeah, we'll actually highlight that battle a little bit more here. As you see, TW Motorsports' Dean Wilkinson in the 55 there. Dustin Logston has fallen back to this pack. Such a shame for Dustin, as he's had really a top 5 night all night. Obviously still can battle for that top 5 position, and as long as things don't go too crazy here, he'd only finish worse as 12th in this pack. But he's definitely had a good night, being up at the front and making moves, trying to take command of this lead in the race. You see Nick Wing in there, currently in 7th. Les Levy was up towards the front. He's been involved in a couple issues here tonight. He's going to try and take Ed DeBoer to the high side, maybe, to try and move forward. Bud Steele's going to move up there with them as well. And Austin Call is going to fill the inside lane. Third car back in this pack as the 81 gets loose. The 28 maybe gets a little loose in turns 1 and 2. 4 laps to go.
Oh boy.
3 wide. Here we go in turn number 3 for this pack. Lead of Nick Wing on the high side. Nobody really with a good momentum. And the 81 and the 28 make contact. We stay green. The 81's going to try and duck back down to the bottom, but the 55 doesn't have a lot of momentum. So the 81's going to try and make the pass through the middle and get clear to the bottom, and he does. That'll give an advantage to the 28 and the 12, currently in 5th and 6th. The 28's going to jump down to the bottom to cover the 81. 3 laps to go. Update on the front. At the front, it is still the same. Brian, Kevin, Gabe, and Eric, 1 extra lap car in this pack. So we will continue to focus on this bigger battle here for 5th place. Nick Wing has the advantage, clear by 1 in front of both lanes, as the 12 now getting a run off of turn 4. And this is a good time to start understanding where those runs come from and how to generate them, because the 12 would have been ahead of the 28 at the line there for that last lap. He's got the help of the 6 of Bud Steele and the 8 of Dude Conrad on the outside. The 28 of Nick Wing, the 81 is behind him, and the 55 of Dean Wilkinson. 62 of Les Levy, the 64 of Austin Call, battling in this pack. And that's everybody that is vying for a lead lap spot in this group. It will be the final lap for Brian Wang, Kevin Freese, Gabe Butler, and Eric Laurie. as they come through turns 1 and 2. Brian Wang coming all the way from the back to the front. And they have a comfortable 16-second lead over the rest of the pack as they continue to pick up lap car stragglers. But out of turn number 4, it is going to be from the outhouse to the penthouse. Brian Wang, last to first. He is going to be our 5th winner of the season in the 05 as they cross the stripe. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Team Bootnaka Esports. Back in turn number 3 as they come off of 4 now. The 12 on the inside. He's going to try and block both lanes. And he is going to try and win this battle for 5th, and they are going to wreck across the line. 5th place for Ed DeBoer. And a little bit of a celebration as you see some smoke out of the 25 of Kevin Freese here. Big moment to finish that race there for those Team Boonaki Esports drivers. We saw a couple moments that broke up the pack, and then you saw the green flag pit cycles. Unfortunately for Les Levy, came out without any help to stay in that lead pack there. A couple others falling back after some of the incidents that brought out no yellow flag. 25 trying to maybe hit the 05 during his celebrations here, as you see on the front stretch. 05 and the 88 celebrating a little bit here. And while we watch this fun celebration at the front here, we'll see if we can go down that running order and try to make sense of kind of a little bit of a crazy race here tonight. But we saw, obviously already highlighted the top 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for Team Bootnaka Esports. Ed DeBoer in the number 12 is going to lead that second pack, about 17 seconds off the leaders. Nick Wing for Roswell Motorsports is going to come home 6th in a solid finish. Bud Steele, also for Roswell, is going to come home in the 7th position there. Dustin Logston had a really, really great race running. Was in that lead pack when some of the calamity ensued, and just lost enough ground to fall back into the battle there, but he's going to still come home with a very solid top 10 for himself. Dune Conrad in the number 8 machine is going to come home 9th. Then we saw Les Levy, obviously, during that final green flag pit cycle, had to come in by himself and just did not have the momentum to keep up with that lead pack at that point. Dean Wilkinson was also there mixing it up in the front, but he's going to settle for an 11th place finish tonight. And then Austin Call, the last of those drivers in that second pack, that was the last car on the lead lap as well. We saw Nathan Aldrich get lapped late and hold on to that spot just behind the leaders there. He's going to be the first car 1 lap down. Jim Brooks will be just behind him in 14th in the Area 51 Ford Mustang. Tom Dixon there had some moments up at the front of the pack, but he's going to have to settle for a top 15 tonight, plus 2 laps over or on the leader. And then we go back to Carl Engel, who definitely had some good luck and some bad luck, but mostly bad luck. Had a caution come out to not lose another lap, where he could actually get that car properly fixed. But unfortunately for him, the damage was done too little too late at that point. So unfortunately for him, a 16th place finish. Bob Fitzgerald involved in a few incidents of his own. A lot of them not really much of his own doing, but just involved, and hard to bounce back from that sometime. And then obviously we saw Rick Sanchez, who really truly had a great run going tonight, coming back from the back surgery and the recovery. Hopefully he is continuing to do well, and hopefully we'll see him back up towards the front of the pack here soon enough. But a good run for him, I would say, after definitely a major surgery there for him. So good to see him back out on track. Jeremy Osborne definitely probably has the incident award for tonight. Definitely involved in a few, mostly some of his own doing, some not of his own doing. But I mean, a lot of, obviously, just a testament to how tough these cars are to drive and how hot that track temperature was to see those guys sliding around as much as they were. Then we saw Jack Walls unfortunately taken out, complete innocent bystander there, and Robert Hooligan had a really truly great run building there and just got loose just like Rick Sanchez did a couple times, and unfortunately nowhere to go and nothing to do. And speaking of nowhere to go, that was Ryan Decker who was involved in that incident, and again, not anything he could do, but just taken out unfortunately early on. But he'll finish in the 22nd position there tonight. Andrew Schroeder is going to come home in the 23rd position, 24 laps off of the lead. And then Ambrose Kniebel will round out the field, retiring 39 laps before the finish here. So we have gone through the running order, and we've got a few drivers that we need to bring up here. Let's see. Maybe they won't mind us doing a group interview here. So especially because it's a team effort tonight for these drivers. Hopefully they won't be bothered too much by us doing a team interview here. So we're gonna bring them all up into the booth and get all cozy and comfy in here, because it's not a big booth, but we'll bring all three of you up in here, and we'll go through one by one and talk to you guys. Obviously, first of all, a big congratulations. Obviously, a team 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for you guys. That's got to be a good feeling, and I guess so. Obviously, with the third place finish, we'll go to Gabe first. Gabe, take us through what it took to get that 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for your team here tonight.
Tires.
It seemed like that was, we saw the track temp in the middle of the race. Matt mentioned and saw that it was 129 degrees, but man, it seemed like those cars were an absolute handful there.
Yeah, they were. Every chance I took under caution, I took 4, and yeah, it was cars were really getting out of control, and if those guys that didn't take tires, you just really lose it in the corner there. You had to lift, but you kind of had to stay in the gas. You couldn't lift all the way, or the back end would just shoot out from underneath you. But definitely a handful, but it made it fun racing, and kind of had to drive the car here at Daytona tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll move on to Kevin as well. Just kind of keep going through the team interview here. But Kevin, what were you expecting? Were you guys expecting this level of track temp to be so high, and for these cars to really be all over the place here tonight?
Not really. It to be as I was expecting like 115, like 110, 115. It be in that ballpark. Not really so much the 120s, but this car is a lot of fun to drive on here because it is one of the most difficult. So that's why I prefer it over all the other super speedway, because it just takes a lot of discipline to be able to push in, and then it burns the rear tires off, and it just makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of crazy. Obviously, we saw some really good drivers just get loose in the middle of the corner. I know Rick Sanchez did it once or twice here tonight. Robert Hooligan as well. It was kind of crazy to see how much these cars were slipping and sliding. But I know obviously we got Brian Wang up here in the booth as well. Was it kind of your strategy to try and not qualify to be at the back of the pack, to try and earn it and pass as many cars as you can, or was that just something that you wanted to try and do from the get-go?
Yeah, I usually start from the back. It's a lot more fun. Plus, if I get wrecked early, I can just go to bed and not deal with the rest of the race. But that was a really fun race. Starting from the back, got my way up to the front thanks to Kevin at one point on a restart, and we just stayed at the front luckily the whole race, and yeah, the tires, they well, it was really, really fun having the tires be as terrible as they were today. A lot more fun than just riding in line without any challenge.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, I guess maybe shouldn't be as much of a surprise as we were expecting, and I'll hand it back to Gabe here. But I know obviously we saw, you know, kind of some crazy track temps and some really loose situations at Atlanta too. Was that something that kind of prepared you, Gabe, for kind of what was happening tonight and how the car was feeling here at Daytona?
Yeah, Atlanta's a good testing ground for something like that here tonight. But I mean, in practice, I was practicing pitting, and the car wasn't stopping. And then I didn't even think to look at the track temp. And then Kevin came in and said, "Hey, did you see the track temp?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, no wonder the car wasn't stopping." So anyway, I mean, just normally the first 10, 15 laps of a race, you should be really able to adjust your driving style to hot temps like this. And as the race goes on, then you make the call if you want to take tires, if you don't want to take tires. But with these high track temps, you really got to take tires, and we did. And so that's why I think we were able to keep the car underneath of us for the most part.
Yeah, I noticed. Obviously, Gabe noticed you roll through pit lane a couple times for probably some extra fuel. I think on the second stop to pit a little bit later, but seems like a kind of a mixed bag of four tires and fuel. And I'll hand it over to Kevin there. But were you guys? I mean, how early did you guys realize that you needed to pit for tires as much as you possibly can there, Kevin?
In this car, you want to take him as much as you can, especially with the way the cautions were coming out. Gives you just an easy opportunity to go in and get four as much as you could. You could feel them wearing out, and then the track was just, even with the four tires, it was a little slick, especially on the bottom lane. I know a couple of times pushing, I felt it. Not even so much, just I'd do a slightly different wheel input, and it would just pull around. Um, yeah, so anytime you could get us those left sides, they'll just give you a little bit more stability. Eric was lucky and got them on the last stop, which I was a little jealous of, especially at the end there.
Yeah, definitely. Looked like you guys did some teamwork too to try and keep him up in that pack, and so you can make sure you guys are all four together, which was obviously just a testament I think to the team camaraderie that we always see from you guys, and who knows, maybe a chance here for some ribbon for Brian. Maybe obviously. You run a bit of a limited schedule, but now you've got a win on the season, and Kevin does too. It's got to feel good in some ways to see that you guys are both able to get the win, and we're still waiting to see for Gabe to get his first. But it's gotta in a partial schedule, it's got to feel good, Brian, to get the win here tonight.
Yeah, especially after last race where I money shifted pretty early in the race.
Oh no. Yeah, that's I mean, I think we've all done it. I'm sure we've all done it at some point or another, but yeah, it's I guess from a partial schedule standpoint, what kind of goes through your mind, or how do you kind of attack or approach these races? I know, like you said, you have you want to come back from the front, try to have some fun and pass some cars, but is there any bit of a different mindset that you might have from your teammates with only running a few select races here and there?
I guess I just try to make the most out of each race. I just fully send it, I guess.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, we got to see that, and obviously, I mentioned it. I think about 10 laps to go when we saw you guys kind of lined up, in the front, and you guys' MO is typically to just hold steady and push whoever's in front to the win. So. Obviously, that was Brian for getting off pit road first, and obviously, I assume I know some of the thanks and shoutouts that are coming, but we'll turn it over to you, Gabe, for that third place finish. I assume you got some good teammates here that you might want to thank for coming home first through fourth here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, great performance by the team. So we're happy with it. 1 through 4. I mean, I think poor dude got the short end of the stick there when he got caught up in a an incident there at the back where there wasn't a caution. And we don't throw admin cautions anymore. So, just unfortunate iRacing didn't call it, but I guess it is what it is. But just the way things go sometime. But overall, great job by the team, and thanks to you guys up in the booth for doing your fantastic broadcast. And looking forward to going back and looking at this one and see what we can see.
Yeah, you'll have to see how you can make sense of it because obviously there was some stuff that was hectic for us to try and make sense of in the moment. So we'll turn it over to Kevin here. Roll out that red carpet for you as well for yet another podium and solid second place finish for you here tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you to you for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to all the boys on the team for having a strong race tonight and taking care of each other out there like we always do. Yeah, thanks to Gabe for his help behind the scenes with all this stuff goes on around here.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff behind the scenes to do here in the league, and we definitely appreciate all the help from Gabe as well. But finally, Brian, any last thanks or shoutouts you'd like to give for that big win here tonight at Daytona?
Yeah, thanks to you for doing the broadcast. Thanks to everybody in the team, Dude, Eric, Gabe, and Kevin. Especially thanks to Kevin for turning me after the line before, instead of before the line.
There you go. Well, congratulations to you all, and obviously a solid feat to obviously even with Dude getting caught up there towards the second pack there, still coming home ninth. So that's 5 cars in the top 9, and obviously 4 in the top 4. So congratulations to you all, and good luck in the future, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Alrighty, it's always fun to do the group interviews here when we can, so get to hear everyone kind of chime in together, and a big congratulations again to Team Bootnaka Esports. We've definitely seen some dominant performances from them in the past, and this is absolutely no exception. Definitely some incidents that we saw that kind of segmented the field towards the end, and unfortunately, that's just the way that cautions fall with iRacing. And as an admin in other series here on iRacing, I totally understand that for admin discretion, it's a lot easier to typically let iRacing make those calls. Unless you absolutely see, a 4, 5, 6 car wreck that's about to take out the whole field, or something, and even in the moment, it's hard to make those judgment calls, especially from the driver's seat if you're doing admin duties behind the wheel as well. So definitely understandable that some of those incidents happened that did not bring out a yellow, but still really great execution from this team here at the front to come home first through fourth, and still a really great race from fifth all the way back to 12th in that second pack that we got to see towards the end. Yeah, definitely a lot of chaos and a lot of craziness that we saw from, realistically, about every 6 to 8 laps, a yellow in the first couple stages and laps here. The incredibly high track temp, which I don't think we were expecting at all here tonight. Who knows? Maybe that was something that we could have been a little better prepared for with what we saw again at Atlanta. That obviously Gabe and I kind of referenced a little bit to how loose those cars were and how on top of the track instead of being able to be down and packed in and gripped up. So just another race of this season that we've seen where these cars have been incredibly loose and incredibly light on grips. So definitely was no slouch for action here tonight for the booth. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was yeah. Obviously, I already recapped most of it there, Matt. But anything from your perspective that was a really big surprise for you?
Not really. You pretty much hit the nail on the head there. It's the track temp.
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit more patient. Uh, as I told earlier in the broadcast, it's going to be a little bit slicker out there. You can't really push hard as you usually do. Uh, just because you'll wear out the tires like really quickly. Those tires get really hot during those super speedway races.
Yeah.
They get upwards about maybe about 270, 280. Sometimes if you really slide the tires, come down pit road, there could be upwards of about 300. Now, if you don't change tires on that, which we saw a couple of drivers do, they're going to pay the price, and we saw that here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, obviously, we talked to the trio of Team Bootnaka drivers there, but they were saying every caution that they could come down, they were getting 4 tires, for sure. So, definitely played a little bit of a part for them, gave them a little bit more grip. Definitely helpful to have that. Obviously, the last green flag pit cycle only taking fuel based on the pit times that we see. So, um, definitely was a bit of an interesting race. I don't think we've seen nearly this much handling come into factor here at Daytona, but nonetheless, it was a lot of fun and always a pleasure to get to call this for our fans and for the league. And always great to be a part of this as well. So we've got some more races on the calendar. So that was the 5th race of the season. We're going to go back to iRacing Super Speedway next week, November 14th. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to go back to Atlanta on the 21st of November. Obviously, the Thursday after that being a holiday, so that'll be a very happy Thanksgiving to everyone and an off week here for the league before we get back to Talladega Super Speedway, the last race before the playoffs start. And we'll have a 2-race shootout to determine our champion here. It'll be a little bit of a late season. Finishing up on December 12th and December 19th at iRacing Super Speedway, and then back here again at Daytona, but definitely late, but still glad to be able to bring you mostly a full season here. It'll be a 10 race shootout instead of our normal 12. Trying to make sure that we get our off weeks in for obviously the holiday season and get the final season of 2024 in before the end of the year. So again, next week iRacing Super Speedway, then Atlanta, and we will be very excited to bring you that action here on Green and White Checkered TV. Don't forget, we do still have the Sunday series as well. They are racing the trucks, same kind of gambit of racetracks and slightly condensed schedule as well through the end of 2024. I know our good friend Gael Brooks is always in charge of those Sunday night races, so we appreciate him running those, and you'll have to check them out and hang out with them. And Matt, you'll have to refresh my memory because it's been a little bit, but I don't believe we're broadcasting Tuesday nights, but we do still have obviously the IndyCar series here with Area 51 and Dark Horse Racing as well on Tuesdays, but that IndyCar IR18 series runs on Tuesdays here at Area 51 as well.
Yep, we are actually broadcasting that.
Oh, cool.
And,
Perfect.
yeah, we are. So that will be starting November the 19th.
Okay.
So we have an estimation of about 31 drivers.
Okay.
31. So we're going to have I pretty much a new and welcome to some of these guys who came over from the votive league over. They run Wednesday night. I appreciate Shane and them, Shane Cotter. I really do appreciate you inviting some guys over. I know I invited some guys over to come over to race your league. I I really greatly do appreciate you. Thank you so much for the sponsorship.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it'll be good to have the Tuesday series rolling again. I know, obviously, had to find some deeper pockets, had to pick some more pockets for the broadcast for the final season here in 2024. But we are just about back to full strength racing here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And obviously, we could not do it without all of our fans and all of our supporting sponsors. Obviously, 40 Racewear sponsors heavily on the Tuesday night IndyCar side of things. Whiplash SimCams for providing the cameras for the broadcasts. Obviously, Scentsy, your fragrance destination for coming to the league through Caitlin Decker and all that they've done for us, and that we can do for them as well. But yeah, it's been some good partnerships, and glad that we were able to continue to run a schedule for obviously, I mean, the fans, for the racers in the league and everything. It's good to be able to put this all together, and definitely it takes a team here. And takes some donations to make sure that we can try to pay for the licenses that bring you hopefully the solid or decent camera views, and all the programming behind the scenes that we do for the broadcast to try and put on a decent production value. So appreciate everyone and their support here for Green White Checker TV and for Area 51. And for myself, Boomer Logan, and my good friend Matt Wagner, we will sign off for tonight. We'll see you next week, and hope you take care and have a great week.